Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, one of the oldest forms of equestrian sport. A Suncoast circus family is offering a chance for children and adults to learn horse vaulting.
You know, it does take a lot of dedication and heart. It's not something that comes easy by no means.
I just fell in love with it. The first round on circle, I just said, that's what I want to do.
Plus, in our latest Breaking Barriers segment, we introduce you to Tuck. Things didn't look good for this pup, but trainers have given him a new lease on life. This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. It's often referred to as gymnastics performed on horseback. Equestrian vaulting has been around for thousands of years, and it can be traced back through the Middle Ages. It offers riders the opportunity to connect with a horse on an entirely different level. And at Circus on the Ranch in Mayaca, Florida, they're hoping to help others make that special connection. Let's take a look.
Trust is a very big thing, especially in something like this. Obviously, you don't get your trust, just from saying hey to your animals every day. This has been years upon years now where he's been with me every day, and, trust is a very big thing. They have to know that you're gonna take care of them no matter what. So this is Pinto. He is our stallion out here of the group, but we don't ever tell anybody that he's truly a stallion because he never acts like a stallion. I have had him since he was 2 years old, and now he is 9. And everyone says to you, have you ever had your heart horse? And he is truly my heart horse. He is the one and only, and nobody can ever change him. He is just perfect. Pinto has done a lot. He has been a stunt horse. He has done jousting, but his main role, what we do with him, is bareback riding. In the circus, there is vaulting, which is competitive, but vaulting originates back from bareback riding in the circus. And just like bareback riding, the circus is unfortunately a dying art now. That's why we're so lucky to have Circus on the Ranch out here. Because it teaches kids, about how this works and what it is. And not only that, but bareback riding was one of the first acts in the circus. That's how our ring got created, what our horses run in, because a horse can't run a perfect circle without a perimeter. So that's where circus started their ring, because of the bareback riding and stuff like that. And not only that, but just how the horses have to be. It's so precise, and which way they have to be checked in, and how they have to be set up to run a perfect circle for us as well.
I came out one day and I just fell in love with it. The first round on circle, I just said, that's what I want to do.
Act like you're shooting your chest to the sky, okay?
I do the circus vaulting because it's just, I'm passionate for it, and it combines my two favorite things, gymnastics and horses. So I really just enjoy doing it. And I enjoy with being Miss Mercedes and going around and having fun. It's different. When I'm doing gymnastics, it's more steady still. You're just worrying about yourself. And here I have a partner to work with, and with Pinto, I have a bond with him to trust him while I go around, and he trusts me.
And that's the biggest thing is, kids with animals, even people with animals. It's something that, there's something that's about an animal that, they just touch you and help you in such a certain way, and especially kids. An animal has a certain feeling, a certain touch that you just don't get from people that an animal will give you. You can come out here, in a bad mood and, just not a very happy mood, and he's always the one to be like, hey, I'm here, I'm here for you, and he's always just been there. And animals are like that. Animals have, that just certain bond, certain touch.
Right?
when we decided to bring in the animals, it was a hit right away. The kids love it. And we just said, okay, well, let's just integrate it into part of our program. And it's been a success. You know, when the kids come here for vaulting, you know, they don't just, okay, your horse is ready, let's ride. No, they come in, they help saddle them up, they help tack them, they help them get it ready, you know, to make it part of just the overall experience, not just to get up there and learn things. No, you know, from the beginning to the end, if, you know, if the horse is hot, give him the water, clean his feet out. So yeah, we'll give it the, you know, the whole experience.
That was really good. It does take a lot of dedication and heart. It's not something that comes easy by no means. I have been standing up on top of a horse for 14 years now. And it's taken 14 years to, you know, act like I'm standing up there on, but it's like the floor for me. And, you know, it all depends on the person, but it does take a lot of dedication and work. And we, you know, in the beginning, it's just baby steps on how to, you know, learn the horse's maneuvers and how to stand up on a horse and how to understand the feeling and the movement of what you're doing, because it's a lot of mind and body movements that you have to put together and understand mind and body at the same time. It's a very different feeling. There's not a feeling that you can put, you know, to say, oh, it feels like this.
All I'm thinking about is how I'm making it look good and how Tinto's moving, so I can go around and feel like I'm almost part of him. It's an amazing feeling when you're up there with the horse. It's just, feels like you're escaping the real world.
This takes, you know, there's two different things. There's, you know, a trained horse for this, and then there's a horse who's done this just, you know, years upon years and has been with me, you know, through very many shows. We lived in Tennessee for 2 years working on a horse show. We went to the equine affair this year, and, you know, it takes a long time and a lot of experience to get horses like him where they are at now. No, you can't just take a horse out and be like, you know, I just want to stand on top of my horse today. And that's another thing that comes with trust. They have to learn, you know, it's okay, we're not hurting them, how we stand on them, what we do with them. We teach all of our kids to be super light on the horses and stuff like that. So while we're having a good time, they're enjoying themselves as well.
When you're up there with him and you're even on the ground just brushing him before you get on, it's just an amazing feeling. Like, I think he understands that when he helps me, I help him, and he's with me.
The youngest that we do is probably 6 years old, just because they have to be, you know, obviously mind and body coordinated at that point. But we do from age 6 all the way up. We had a lady out here not even that long ago, and she was in her mid-60s. Up standing on top of Pinto, styling and stuff like that, so it was really cool. With all animals, they know their purpose in life, but he truly knows that he is here to, you know, do his job, and he takes a lot of pride in his job. And he enjoys his job, and he knows what his purpose is. It's one of those things where he's genuinely happy to come out here and do this. It's never a hard thing for him. He enjoys interacting with all of the kids. He's a very personal horse. So he enjoys the interaction, he enjoys being around people, and I could say he does know his purpose. My biggest hope is the fact that, you know, we're teaching something that's different, and we're bringing something to the community that a lot of people do not see nowadays. It's one of those feelings where you can't compare to it, especially when you love it as much as I do. It's one of those things that you just feel like you're on top of the world sometimes, especially with him.
For more information on the vaulting training program, you can go to their website at circusontheranch.com. Along with horse vaulting, Circus on the Ranch is now offering summer camps for children with hopes of promoting the circus arts to future generations. So we spoke with creator William Pages, a world-renowned trapeze artist, about his passion for making this an elite training facility.
The flying trapeze, the pride of America, the fabulous flying Pages.
we are actually an aerial trapeze family. Goes back 4 generations on my mom's side, and me personally, been doing it 40 years. I've been all over the world doing it. I've worked for Ringling Brothers, Cirque du Soleil, all over Europe, Asia, and retired about 4 years ago. And we took a trip up to it, I think it was Atlanta, and we were talking about it. Oh, I really miss it. And my fiance said, you know, you should probably put a circus school together, you know, try to get the itch out of it. And so this all became out of a 9-hour trip north, and here we are.
And you got through the pandemic.
Yeah, actually the pandemic, believe it or not, was our busiest time. I mean, we've stayed busy after that, but I think just because we're out in the middle of nowhere, we're out, you know, in the air, outside, and it was really good, really good. The kids, we've actually have a good following right now, and it's getting bigger and bigger. Circus on the Ranch is a non-profit circus school. We teach circus arts, and we've only been open about 1.5 years, but obviously our purpose is make it an after-school program. You know, get kids that are in need right now to do something different, and that's what we're trying to promote, is to bring them out here and, you know, just get them feeling good about themselves again.
The hope is to get enough kids out here and to be active enough to do this and understanding the circus arts, and not only that, but bringing the community into it, because we have a really great community out here, but they know nothing about circus. And we're coming into, you know, Florida is one of the biggest, especially Sarasota, is one of the biggest circus towns around, and really nobody knows about it anymore. So just bringing the community into it and having the kids out here understand, you know, what circus life is about is something that's so grateful, because it teaches kids so many things that are just not around anymore.
They do, because when they come here, they drop the phones. They're never on their phones. It's yeah, I think we do help them get past the whole phone thing. And for the 2 hours or 3 hours out here, that's just fun, trying new things, you know, making new friends. And so I think we are being successful in that aspect. Well, I hope we, you know, to keep growing. You know, we have a building going up right now for our summer camp, and not just, I want to grow, but I want to keep it personable to where every child that comes through our door, we know them, we're intimate with them, and, you know, they know that they're going to come here and get a good experience.
Coming up next on Animal Outtakes, we introduce you to Tuck. Things were really tough in the beginning, but wait until you see him now.
I think something happened to my family. I'm scared and lonely. What's going to happen to me now?
Don't worry, Sonny. Our loving staff at Dante's Den will take care of all your pet needs for the rest of your life. A warm bed, toys, great food, walking, and swimming is all at your paw tips. And if you get sick, there is even a hospital and medical staff to help you get well. Dante's Den, continuing the love.
You love your dog, but is he hard to handle? Barking, biting, jumping, chewing, hard to walk? Is your dog aggressive? Have you tried everything and nothing worked? I'm Will Thomas. Dogs are my passion. I can help you with your dog. My methods are so unique, I only need 1 session in your home. To learn more, look at my website, willthomasdogwhisperer.com, or call me at 941-377-0243. I can help you fast.
In this week's Breaking Barriers segment, we're highlighting a dog named Tug. He was originally surrendered to Dante's Den because his owners did not like the way he looked. And then we adopted him to a family with high hopes, but after 3 years, they brought him back. We could tell he had been neglected and abused, and it truly broke our hearts. But I'm happy to report this story does not have a sad ending.
I evaluated him this morning, and with the evaluation, he's very fearful. He is lacking confidence. So what we'll be doing with him is something similar to our enhanced behavior modification program. So I've got to get him to come out of that cocoon, get him to trust people again. As you can see, he's keeping his eyes directly on me. His ears are pinned back, his head's a little low, and his tail is directly between his legs. So he's very fearful right now, and he has no self-confidence going at all. 9 years old. What we'd like to do with Tug is to get him to bond with one of the other trainers here at Dante's. All we know is that he's food aggressive. However, trying him with food this morning, I couldn't even get him to come near the food. So those are just some small things we're going to start with in the beginning, just to get Tug to bond with one of the trainers here. Again, it's quality of life, and as you can see the way he's responding and acting right now, it's very, very poor. Our job is to get him out there, running around the deck, maybe swimming in the pool. That's what our goal is. Now Tug. Let's go, son. And now, as you can see, Tug's got a little bit of that, well, Tug's got a little bit of that magic back. How you doing, buddy? He's an older Corgi mix, Corgi Lab. Now he gets out, he socializes, he meets with people. So some of the stuff we did with Tug was just a lot of social interaction. All the staff members, just trying to bring him back out of his shell. So he got to play with everybody, he got to run around with everybody. And that's what we were hoping for Tug, because originally, like I said, we couldn't get him out of his kennel. We would actually have to hold the door open, leave the door of his kennel open so he could see out to the outside, and then he would run from one spot to the other. And then the trick was putting him back in his kennel. He didn't want to go back in his kennel. The best part of 2 weeks ago versus now is getting him out with the social interaction, getting him out with the other kennel techs and new trainers, so Tug can enjoy his latter years. Tug is a great dog, very friendly. Yeah, how you doing, buddy? Socialization was huge with him. Again, with every single kennel hand here, every single employee here at Dante's, they were able to actually interact and work with him to get him to where he is now, where he'll come out and he will just be a part of all the social circles with everybody. Huh, buddy? Oh, good boy. Once we get him very comfortable around other people again, then we will put him up for adoption. Tuggers.
For more information on the training programs available at Dante's Den Foundation, please go to dantesden.org. Stick around, there's more Animal Outtakes after the break. Animal Outtakes is produced by Dante's Den Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to creating the best life for dogs. If you would like to learn more about Dante's Den, donate, or volunteer, visit our website, dantesden.org. Dr. Greiner, you know that I'm a lover of these dogs and many times get puppies to bring up. But the question always is, number one, do we neuter and or spay? And at what age do we do this?
It's actually kind of controversial because in most countries of the world, they do not routinely spay-neuter their pets. And there's been some suggestion now that spaying and neutering too early may lead to cancers later on in life. My partners and I have disagreed on this topic for years. They've thought I was nuts, but I always wanted my female dogs to go through one heat period prior to spaying them. I felt that they matured better. It definitely decreases their risk of urinary problems later on in life, particularly urinary incontinence, which is a weakening of the bladder sphincter and they leak urine. The downside to that is that you have to have absolute assurance that they are not going to get out and get pregnant when they're going through their heat period. You have to go through the heat period itself. And then dogs, regardless of whether they are bred or not, produce pregnancy hormone afterwards. And so some dogs will actually go through a false pregnancy, which they get milk of the breasts and try mothering toys and building a nest. And they last for a few weeks and they're kind of miserable because they don't have puppies. And,
sure.
But I've always felt that going through that way outweighs the benefits of spaying them before the first heat period. The boys, on the other hand, there's been a lot of discussion about this really early neutering, some as early as 6 to 8 weeks of age. I disagree with that based on the fact that A, they're at higher risk of anesthetic problems at that age, but B, again, I would like them to mature. I think if they reach physical maturity that they don't tend to gain the weight so much like they do with the early neutering. And I think that they have fewer phobias, they develop more self-confidence, and I think their behavior is better.
So we have Joey, who's considered a small dog, and we have our shepherds, who are considered the large dogs. What would you recommend?
Well, the toy breeds, the little bitty guys, are maturing probably at about 6 months of age. The medium or sized guys like Joey are probably about 9 months, and the bigger guys, about a year of age.
So any time after those bewitching months would be...
Or if they decide that they're a little precocious and they're going to start leg lifting in your house, and
yes. So
you lose your privileges.
Yes, yes, yes. Now let's fast forward to an older dog. Is it possible that they can get dementia?
We don't know because we don't have the psychological testing, but I am absolutely sure that they get the same degenerative brain diseases that we get. Probably not Alzheimer's per se, but I know with my own experience, my first dog lived to be 18 years old, and we just called her Grandma because she was kind of a little in her dotage.
And lastly, of course, how do we select the right food?
That's a big controversy. You see everything from raw meat diets right up to very heavily processed foods. And after 30 years in practice, I'm very convinced that there is no one diet that is right for every dog, or even not even one brand of food that's right for every dog. And I think that every patient that I see, I look at individually. We always question what food they are on and quantity that they're on. And if I like the way they look, I like their weight, their teeth look good, they're happy, bowel movements are okay, then God bless. I've had a couple of dogs that can live on very low quality diets and look great. And I've had others, particularly performance dogs, that need a really high energy, high protein diet.
Kind of like us.
Yeah, and but you know, if you're a couch potato, you shouldn't be eating a really high energy, high protein diet because you're going to get fat.
Did you hear that, Joey?
You say I'm not a potato, I'm shaped like one.
These last few months have been challenging for everyone, especially me. I've walked many, many miles. I learned new tricks. I lost my afternoon nap time. I've stayed up many nights watching movie after movie after movie. I'm suffering from cabin fever. I'm in need of a renewed spirit.
Dante's Den is the perfect boarding solution for your dog, whether it's an overnight, short, or extended stay. Dante's offers the convenience, amenities, and overall luxury your pet is seeking. Spacious, air-conditioned dens have private patios, overlooking scenic pool and lakeside views, a sparkling pool with fountains to play in, surrounded by chaste loungers and a staff that will cater to their every wish. To make a boarding reservation for your pup, call us at 941-219-3730.
Over 90% of the seafood that is coming in to this country is raised in areas of the world that don't have the highest standards. And so our approaches are aimed for two things. One is to help feed the world. The second is to do it in an environmentally friendly and sustainable way.
We hope you had fun and you learned a thing or two along the way. We'll be back here again next week with even more animals and some wild adventures. Until then, thanks for watching.